Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of CCW Insider. And tonight is a very special episode as we will be celebrating the history and the upcoming Bash at the Brew 44, the last bash at Unbranded Brewery. Guys, we've been hyping this one up. Hopefully we can live up to the expectations. Axel, let's get started with you. How are we feeling tonight?
We're feeling great, but it's also feeling very surreal. We heard about the bash, the last bash, maybe at the beginning of the month, I want to say, maybe even 2 months ago. I really forget the timeline, but it just seems so further away that I just put it off to the side. Like, yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. And the time is now. This Saturday, we're going to be at Unbranded Brewing Company for the last time to have the last bash. A tremendous bash, if I should say, Bash at the Brew 44. I mean, I'm just very excited, but I know emotions are going to be very high that night. It's going to be a very tense night, but I think it's also going to be a very fun night.
Lissy, I know you've been here before me and Axel here in the last territory. I know this one is special for you.
It's not just special because of my tenure with CCW. It's even more special because Unbranded Brewing Company was the first venue that I attended a CCW show. Bash at the Brew was the first CCW show that I attended. When I moved to South Florida, obviously big wrestling fan, I wanted to find some local wrestling to get into, and I found CCW, and that was it for me. So this is very, very special and personal for me.
Yeah, a Bash at the Brew is special for everybody. I feel like it's impacted South Florida wrestling so much, and we have such a big show. We got Bash at the Brew 44 to talk about, so I think for right now we got to run that intro.
Well, I mean, the time is come, and what better way, really? I mean, we have a whole 45 minutes or an hour, however much we have of your time today, and we're not going to waste any time of it. We talked that this is going to be a CCW Insider that's devoted to the history that we've had at Bash, but we're also going to be talking about the last Bash, and I think we have to highlight one of the most talked about matches that's going to be happening that night, and it's going to be a Fatal 4-Way TLC match for the CCW Tag Team Championships, right? I mean, there you see the graphic. The champions, Briggs and Stallion, taking on the South American Lions, taking on Five Star Era, taking on the former champions, the Crown. I mean, what a lineup just there in that match. But Tyler, without further ado, let's welcome our very first guest to this special episode of CCW Insider.
Let's do it. Listen, we've been throwing around the word special a lot this episode. This whole month we've been throwing around the word special. But right now, we got these two men that will be making their debut here on Insider. They are former CCW Tag Team Champions at 580 days. Some of the most dominant champions we have seen here in CCW. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Leonis and Maximus Khan. It is the Crown.
Woo!
What?
Look at wrong
What's up, guys?
Wrong chat there, Leonis.
Sorry about that.
Bouncing them for the chat. Hey, we got a special night going on right now. We got a very special night Saturday. You guys are in this huge 4-way TLC match.
We are. I can't wait for it. I'm feeling naked. You know, without these titles, we've had them for what?
Yeah, you're pretty naked
now?
right now.
That's how I feel. You know, I feel naked without them. I'm missing them, but this Saturday we're getting them back. I promise you that.
You're pretty naked right now, brother.
I know. That's how I'm feeling. We got to get them back.
You can put your titties away.
Johnny V telling us that he just zoomed in on the pecs to start. That'll wake up the Kings. Now, gentlemen, let's really talk about this upcoming Saturday. I mean, you have to get into that mindset that you're taking on the 5-Star Era, a team you're very familiar with. Of course, familiar with Danny Briggs and Stanley Rogers, and now we were also adding into the mix the final team. Remind me again, Tyler, put that graphic up. I'm blinking out, my man.
American Alliance.
The South American Alliance, all teams that you guys have all been in the ring with. So what are we to expect really this Saturday now that we know that the familiarity of you with these other teams have been established, but this is going to be the first time that all four of you, all four teams respectively, are going to clash inside the ring in a TLC match?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said,
Complete
with all of the.
chaos.
Can I speak? We've had history with all
You've
those.
been speaking this whole time.
Infighting in the crown already, guys. We got a big TLC match.
Brothers,
Let's stay together.
Take it easy. Okay. Let's start over.
History with all these teams.
Speak.
We just lost our titles. Unfortunately, it's been about 2 years now. It's not a good feeling. So this Saturday, we're coming in there hot. We're coming in there ready to get back what's ours. I think our first bash was like Bash 13. This to be Bash 44, man. It's been over 30 bashes now we've been there. And we've had the titles for almost every single one of those. So with this being the last bash, we're going to do some damage. I promise you that.
We're going to wake those forking scumbags up one by one. Ain't that right, Leonis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, since this is going to be the last bash, some memorable moments that the Crown has had at Bash at the Brew. Really talk to us about the history that you guys have had in that Unbranded Brewing Company. So what are some of your most special moments that come to mind when you think about Bash at the Brew at Unbranded?
Man, there's been a lot, from the jailbreak match to first won the CCW tag team titles against ERA and Johnny Nova. You guys remember that match? That was crazy. We were going outside, coming back inside. It was a war. Our last one that we just had was against Eddie and Joe once again. That we came out victorious, and I guess that led to their demise as a team. So we've been breaking up teams left and right every time we go to the bash.
And of course, the fans, the energy, we thrive off the energy. There's no energy like Bash at the Brew. So we're going to use it to our advantage just like we always do. And wake them up.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's going to be intense. Like I said, we're not playing any games. I feel naked. I don't like not having these titles. So I'm going to have to change that, especially for this last bash. Oh, yeah, we're ready.
So, Brett, quick question. So, obviously, you guys know everybody very well, right? You went up against ERA in a different variation of tag team, as well as now him and Ricky together. You guys have gone up and down the roads together. You've done a lot with the South American Alliance as well, on being their partner and being adversarial with them. And then, of course, most recently, you guys versus Stallion Rogers and Danny Briggs. Who are you gunning for the most in this match?
The fake champs.
Is it?
The ones that took our belts. That's exactly who.
Yeah.
That's what we're gunning for.
Stallion Rogers.
If any of those other teams want to step up and get in the way and wake up, then so be it. We're coming for the gold. That's it.
If you guys didn't remember, at War Games, we tagged with Danny Briggs and Stallion Rogers. And if my memory serves me correctly, they're the ones that lost us that match. So maybe that was a little planned on their behalf. I don't know. It might have been.
I think it was mind games.
How it went down in Kissimmee when they took those titles from us, I didn't like how that went down. They took me to the ropes, and it then became a handicap match. So that's definitely who I'm gunning for. They have what we want, and we're going to take it back from them. If any of the other teams want to, have a say in that, I wish them the best. But what's going to happen at the end of the day. We're going to wake them all up, just like we always have.
Wow. So definitely price tags on the heads of Stallion Rogers and Danny Briggs. But at the end of the day, it sounds like you guys are putting everybody on notice.
We are. 100% we are. We've already faced all of them before. We faced ERA and Ricky Martinez before at a Kumite show in the cage match.
Speared him through a table.
We put Ricky through the door.
Whatever it was.
He won that match. We beat the South American Alliance.
So now we have to whoop, not just beat, but whoop Danny and Stallion, period. Wake them up.
The one message is very clear. It seems that the beef between Stallion Rogers and the Crown is far from over. Gentlemen, let's go back and talk about that moment that you guys were talking about. The 5-star, not 5-star era, but Ricky, it was ERA and
Get it right, Axel.
and Nova.
Elevated
Let's
status.
talk about that match. The last time that you guys were in a TLC match, I believe, was that particular match, correct?
Was it against Elevated Status? It might have been.
Yes, against Elevated Status. I think that was the last time that we've seen the Crown in a TLC match. So it's been a while, but how do you guys really prepare for some of us that don't really know what's the preparation going into a TLC style match, and then adding the component of 3 other teams also having to, have your head on a swivel?
You know what, Axel? At the end of the day, it's the unknown, brother, and that's where we thrive best. So I'm going to let the other teams think about how they're going to handle us, because this is what we were born for. So we're ready for anything.
You can't really prepare for it. I mean,
Can't prepare.
There's so many variables to the match. I guess the best way to prepare is to get your mindset ready like you're going into war, because that's really what it is. There's tables, ladders, and chairs, and then with 4 teams, it's complete mayhem and chaos. So got to get in that war mindset, got to get in that war mentality, and we got to be ready to ride.
Right. And we could swing the weapons a little bit harder. So
Absolutely. And go ahead.
Tell them to duck, because we're swinging them hard. We're swinging them fast.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it firsthand calling your guys' matches when you guys are out there, and especially you guys are so damn dangerous already. Then you get weapons in your hands. It's time to duck for sure. But we're talking about preparation. We're talking about your guys' dominance and spinning off preparation. Just to line the mood a little bit up here. I saw you guys preparing a little differently this weekend. A little bit of a viral video of sorts. Is it safe to say that Saturday the Crown is going to bring the boom at Bash at the Brew 44? Because I saw you guys there with AJ, Big Justice. You guys were out there showing your moves with Fonzie.
What is
the
it?
Rizzler.
This?
Yeah, you see
You
the
do
Riz face.
You got to put the one eyebrow down.
Down.
You got to scrunch the face.
Crunch.
And that's how you do the Riz face. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how we prepared.
There you go. And usually I wouldn't give a pick so early, but for this match, just seeing that this weekend, it was electric. I got to go with the Crown going into that 4-way tag match for that TLC match. It's got to be the Crown after that. They got the Rizzler, Big Justice.
Is awake.
Yeah, we've been awake, brother. I mean, we've known the Crown. We've known them.
Right.
And now you guys got all
always
done.
liked you, man. I always knew I liked you.
Hell yeah, guys. Axel, any more questions for these guys?
Give it to me.
I think that really just wraps it about up. I mean, I just really want to I just really wanted to know where you guys' head was at. But of course, wanted to talk a little bit about Bash at the Brew with you guys.
Before we go, I want to know what Axel, who's your pick to win this Saturday? We got Tyler's pick. What's your pick?
Well, you see that there's a lot of different components, as you said, a lot of variables here. There's so many things that can happen, but safe to say, I think my money is going to go to the Crown. Of course, no other team I think is more willing to step up and make a statement at the last Bash at the Brew than the Crown. And I think we're going to be crowning new tag team champions this Saturday. There's my pick. There you go. There's
2 for 2
because I have them here on the chat. I'm not just saying that. I'm very full and confident these men have what it takes to, retrieve and regain their tag team championships.
Damn right. Another one's awake. That leaves one more. Girl.
Let's see who you going with.
Come on, guys. You guys are my brothers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Brothers in Christ. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, 100%. My brothers in Christ. I can't wait. First of all, I'm getting the hell out of there as soon as I announce all you guys in, because I'm not sticking around for the violence. I'll be announcing from the back, but I can't wait to announce and new CCW Tag Team Champions, the Crown.
Start our second term. Oh yeah, 3 for 3, baby.
3 for 3. I love all you
guys. We're gonna make you proud on Saturday. I promise you that.
Thank you, brothers.
Love you.
Love you, brothers.
Guys.
I love you too, Axel and Tyler.
Love you.
Thank you, guys.
Good
Thank
luck,
you,
guys.
and best of luck this Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
Wake up.
Safe to say we're all woken up after that.
Axel, you buckled, Axel. You didn't want to say the crowd.
He was gonna say Stallion. You were gonna say Stallion. Be honest.
Listen, we saw it all over your face.
In all honesty, what I was gonna say from the very get-go was, of course, gonna be the crown, guys. Of course.
Of course.
Oh, Axel. I don't know you to be a liar. I thought you were the man that gets the answers, the man with
I do.
All right.
Well, as two go, we have two very special guests. Let's introduce them. First up, we got the man that the reason we're all here. We got the CEO of CCW, Nelio Costa, in the house.
I've been on for 20 minutes, guys, listening to this in the waiting room. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, guys. No, I love Leonis Maximus. I think it's very likely we'll be feeling the boom on Saturday, and I really do believe that TLC match gonna be crazy. I love that we're talking Bash at the Brew. I love that we're talking. I mean, I love that we're talking Bash, but obviously it's gonna be really sad that Saturday it's Unbranded's final day in operation. So while I'm on tonight, I will be drinking some barrel-aged whiskey from New York Prime. Thank you for our friends at New York Prime. And we're going to be talking Bash. I've decided to join you. And Amy, I know you're in the waiting room, but I brought a special guest with me. I brought my brother from the first Bash. I wish Ariel Levy, because he's currently commenting Dynamite at the moment. He's commenting Dynamite. Can you see me? Let me see. He's commenting Dynamite at the moment, so I'm going to bring my father, Bill Alfonso. Fonzie, get on here first.
Hey, Daddy. Am I on, Daddy? Am I live?
You are on. You got your microphone. You look professional. You look badass, Daddy. You look great.
I feel good. I feel good. And I'm so excited about August 31st, this Saturday, Unbranded. I can't believe I was on the first one, and I'm going to be on the last one at the Unbranded. But the tradition goes on, Daddy.
Fonzie, I remember first Bash, and you were like, I remember you coming in. You're like, this looks pretty cool. I was watching from the sideline as Brian Cage made his.
Brian Cage.
He came in as a surprise in the main event, and he destroyed Vinicius, and he hurt Vinicius' knee and Ariel's knee in the same run-in somehow. Shout out to my man Brian for that. But I heard both.
Thanks, Brian.
But I'll remember that always. Fonzie, I'll remember the first time we walked in there. I remember the first Bash, maybe 200 people, maybe 225 people, and they were just loud.
Right now we're doing 1,000.
Yeah. So and it's been incredible. But Fonzie, I want to first thank you. My first sip of this barrel-aged New York Prime whiskey, which is delicious, by the way.
Okay, well, I didn't know you guys were drinking, so let me have a sip.
What a coincidence, Fonzie.
It's a party here in CCW Insider, of course, when we're talking, celebrating about the last Bash.
Oh, and this is delicious. Shout out to Evan Darnell, the Red Meat Lovers Club, and New York Prime for this amazing barrel-aged whiskey. But Fonzie, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I always remember when you looked at me, and it was probably Bash 2, because we grew, and you said this might be our ECW arena. And tell me, like, why? What evokes that feeling from you?
I don't know. That was like our home stomping ground, and it just made sense. And we had to make somewhere our ECW arena, and that was a perfect place, and it turned out to be true. We ended up starting at 200 people, ended up drawing 1,000 people each Bash, which was phenomenal. So that was just reminded me so much of ECW. No air condition. It was hot. We were starting out. When I went in, the crowds were 400 or 500 people. Then it went up to, and sold it out and standing room only, just like the damn Unbranded Brewing Company. I want to thank all those guys, the owners, and for being so cool to us.
3.5 years, and I was talking about this yesterday. Like, they have become friends. Like, I had a really long talk with Lance, and they're like family, man. Like, they really CCW hasn't been able to wouldn't have been able to get to where we are now, where we're announcing some really awesome collaborations we're on the front page of the Miami Herald. If you'd have told me that 3.5 years ago, I would have said that, like, number one, what am I doing on a traditional newspaper? Number two, can you believe the front page? Like, okay, you give me an article, the front page. There's some other cool stuff happening on the news, and there's two big collaborations that we're working on that we're going to announce. And obviously, October 5th, the Tank.
Looking forward to the Tank, Daddy. I can't wait.
We're going to get Tank to the Tank October 5th. And the AC, I think that's going to be the one thing that's going to make it feel a little bit different. Here's the thing. I still want it, whether we pump the AC on October 5th, I want it hot as shit in that building because I want those fans pumped up, Fonzie. Fonzie, we've had some crazy moments. Give me like one or two of those, the craziest moments. Whether it was there was a cage match, Venetia's versus Ariel. Crazy. You and Dan Lambert. Tell me about you and Dan Lambert bleeding in the ring month after month with each other.
Oh, he beat my ass, that big motherfucker. Can I just on this? Damn, I get stretched a lot, but that's my job. You know what I mean? To go in there and we're not family entertainment. We are hardcore. That's why I say the Unbranded reminds me of the ECW arena. That's what we are. We're a little above the sports entertainment, family entertainment. We're a little bit hardcore, and that's what appeals to the people in South Florida.
I agree. I think because we have 10 shows in August, and you get a different vibe. If you go to Port St. Lucie, it's a lot of families. And I do see, by the way, Bash is all ages. So, I see a lot of kids there. I see, like kids who have season passes. But then there's also times where like I'm a bloody mess and I look up and I see a kid and I'm like, well, this is kind of out of place too. But the point, Fonzie, you hit it right in the head. Like there's something edgier, there's something electric. Like Bruce Owens called it lightning in the bottle in the first Bash. So, you bleeding all over with Dan Lambert. Man, there's just so many awesome moments. You going through, us against, not us, South American Alliance against the Resident Scumbags, where you went right through the table on Vic Garson.
I've been beat up a few times, but so has everybody. I mean, we're hardcore.
I just remember that no one expected you. 60. I don't want to out you. 61 years old or 62 at the time.
I just turned 67.
I know. I was shaving years off, Daddy.
But I
65-year-old man. A 65-year-old man going through a table or bleeding there with Dan Lambert. You give so much to professional wrestling. Like, why? Like, what makes
it's giving me Giant? It's giving me so much. I spent my whole life's documented from Florida Championship Wrestling to WCW to WWF WrestleMania and ECW. CCW. I work for John Thorne. I work for different places all over the country, which is real cool. I'm just paying it back, and I love being in the dressing room. I asked John Thorne the same thing I asked you. I said, why do you guys bring me in for every fucking show? And they say, Fonzie, you give them a route to the dressing room. And I like that. That's my job. Dusty did it for me. Now it's my turn to talk to all these young superstars and push them and give them feedback. I'm always watching. I don't take my eyes off. And now you guys got me commentating, which is real cool. I love that.
Because you have such a unique voice and vibe. I've spoken to Trevin Adams. You and now Dan have such an incredible chemistry already, but what you do or what you add to, particularly with the South American Alliance, like I can't speak for any of the members there, but I'll have to say, like, it's been 3.5 years of having the perfect security blanket, 4.5 feet away from you when things are going down or things are happening. You've got the voice of experience who can literally call out to you. It's golden. So it's worth every dollar, but it's worth more than that because exactly what you said, the guys who, 3.5 years ago, a guy like Chris Farrow or a guy who was still, who are listening to you and having the ability to learn from you and pick your brain, Fonzie, is just like, it's golden. It's worth everything. And like you said, you're giving it back, We talked a little bit about Kevin Sullivan last week, and he was giving it back and stuff. You had your moments with Sullivan. There's you and Sullivan and the greatest of all time, baby. That's you guys there, and oh my God, that's an iconic picture. And you're just right over his left shoulder. Fonzie, I mean this in the nicest way. You are the Forrest Gump of professional wrestling. You are everywhere, not in the negative aspect. There, you're with the Brazilian Giant with Venetians, but you have been everywhere, Fonzie. But you had your moment at we didn't know it was one of Kevin's last appearances, but you and Kevin,
damn it,
the crowd wanted to watch it. You guys were arguing in that ring, and I don't think it was really planned. You guys felt the energy, and I heard that crowd dying for Kevin Sullivan at his advanced age, and Fonzie at 66 years old, and one of Kevin's last appearances, and it's gonna live forever with me. All right, bye, Fonzie. No, I'm just kidding. He's like, that's gonna live forever with me, Fonzie. But I just wanted to, what are your kind of thoughts on that as well? Like, what are your feelings of those moments at the Bash?
Damn. Well, every batch has its own unique features, and that particular one with Kevin Sullivan just felt right at home because remember, I started with Florida Championship Wrestling with Dusty and Gordon Soley and Eddie Graham in the early '80s, and we ran Miami Beach Convention Center every Wednesday. So I just felt right at home with Kevin. Kevin and I traveled up and down these roads a lot, near plane crashes, all kind of stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we had a lot to reminisce about, and being in the ring, and you guys giving us a chance of being in the ring with you, all you young CCW superstars, was really cool for us. And Kevin told me that. He says, Ponzi, do you believe it? 40 years later, we're still in the ring. Now look at all these young talents,
It's awesome because it's almost like we skipped, because obviously we have Gangrel, but like it was generations have been skipped. But Fonzie, you've always been somewhere, right? You've always, whether you're showing us pictures of you as a referee, and then you become the manager of champions with an incredible moment with the Taipei death match in ECW. And I don't want to age myself, but I was probably 6 years old watching that. It blew my mind. And you transcended into who you are and who you become and stuff. And Fonzie, you are Bash. Like I say Bruce Owens, I say Fonzie. Obviously Kevin Sullivan, Cha-Cha Charlie, but Fonzie, you are Bash. And any words, any other words for us, Fonzie?
Yeah, I'm gonna wind this up because I have my grandson over. We're eating New York strips. He comes over every Wednesday and has dinner with me, which is one of my favorite things in my life. I'm looking forward to the last Unbranded Brewing Company, and I'm really looking forward to a new start at our new place with AC.
October 5th with some AC, and it's going to be cool. It's 8 minutes away from Unbranded. So, I think that audience is going to follow us. It's a brewery. It's the Tank Brewery. So you're still going to have that aesthetic, and I think it's going to be awesome. And I talked to the ownership and the management of the Tank, and it's funny because I think there's a part of me that's a little worried. They don't know what they're about to get on October.
Wait till they get a load of us.
Wait till they get a load. Yeah, wait till they get a load of us. Fonzie, I love you. Go eat your New York strip, medium rare. I love you. I'll see you Saturday. We'll go. Actually, I think because normally we go to Versailles, right? We normally go eat some Cuban empanadas and stuff. But you know what? We're not leaving Unbranded until about September 3rd. We'll get out of there on Tuesday, Fonzie. So you better take a couple days off because we're drinking all night because it's the last night in operation. So I'll see you there, Fonzie.
I haven't slept since 1982, so I'm up for it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show tonight, guys. See everybody Saturday at I get it around 5:30.
See you there.
Awesome. Thank you,
Bye, guys.
Love you. Before I'm gonna bring on next person is Amy. Amy, bring her on. Just bring her on.
There we go.
Amy,
wow, what an introduction. Wow.
Let's do a little redo.
Amy and
myself Send her out and bring her back. Come on.
Yeah. Amy and myself are the OGs of CCW Insider. And it wasn't
Put some
even
respect
called,
on her name.
It wasn't even called CCW Insider. No. We're gonna go deep here. We're going deep. Listen, trust me on this one. She's loving this. Amy's loving it.
Okay.
Me and Amy did this Tuesday nights forever, and it just felt like we were like. Anyway, I love her. I'll always remember. Amy showed up, and someone who was with the company at the time looks at me and goes like, "Get rid of her." Like, get rid of her. And she's like, I want to learn about wrestling and whatever. And the guy's like, get rid of her, dude. Get rid of her. I'm not gonna say who it was. And I spoke to Amy for about like 2 minutes, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting rid of her. She's like, so smart, intelligent, whatever. And I convinced her. I was like, why don't you try to be a referee? Because she was like, oh, I want to like fly her and learn how to like do this stuff. And I was like, no, fuck that. Like, get your ass in the ring. And so she has become lead official of CCW. She is so fucking good. Give it up for, is that good enough, Lissy? For Amy Pascaloni.
Much better. Yeah.
Deja vu?
Yeah, a little bit.
Tyler Peters and Ted. look, we got a Tyler Peters. Look at that. And then Angela. Look at that. And then it's you. Look at this. The OG Insider.
Oh,
good. Insider, that's right.
Special? She's not special, man. She's hard as
no,
hell.
on a ranking list, S is the best.
What does it stand for?
I don't believe you, Tyler.
No, you don't believe me.
Amy rocks. Everybody loves you. You're so good. I stole the entire Fonzie interview, by the way. I steal this whole show when I come on. No one's allowed to talk but me.
We expect it from
you. But that's just
the rest of us can log off if you want.
No. I need your beautiful faces for views, please. I need.
That was for me, guys.
Guys, we're gonna. Are we talking about the show? Are we gonna talk
about the show? We're really bringing up some of the match cards, but first, before
first, Amy, give me that moment. Like, give me a Bash moment that you just will never forget. Like, what? Come on, like, what is one of those fucking moments?
I would have to say refereeing Jackal versus Ariel #1, where Jackal won the title.
Incredible.
Because going back to when you convinced me to be a ref, the actual first match that I ever refed at the school was with Jackal and Vic Arson again. He keeps appearing in this podcast. It's so weird.
Pour one out for Vic Arson, my dog. So this is my dog or my daughter. No, my
dog. But so to see someone who I started training with reach the top of CCW was a special moment for me.
Matt, was that last year? I don't know if it's a spoiler, but that's match of the year. That was an incredible match. Was it a win match of the year? No, War Games did.
Yeah, but I think it was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be for this year, right? I don't even know. Anyway, that match was incredible. You have gotten so much better, like as a referee. Like, and I'm not saying that like you were never like bad as a referee, but like you're just getting so good in there, and communicating so well. People don't know this, I don't think, but like the expectation when you're a referee at CCW, the expectation, it's not always fulfilled, is very similar to like the David Mannings of worldwide. And like the expectation is like the show needs to be set up and the refs need to be, the people need to be in place. And you guys really work so hard at that, most of you guys. But Amy, you are really, on top on that. Like explain a little bit to the folks at home, like if they don't know how important your role is in regards to local promotion and organization and basically like playing such a big part of this organized chaos that not just is Bash at the Brew, but is CCW.
Well, as far as like what my role is outside of like the actual show itself, getting in on multiple levels with the marketing is such a like arduous task. Like it's not just like getting out and flyering and understanding what businesses will allow us to put posters and stuff. It's the internet marketing too, like that guerrilla style marketing that you do on the internet. A lot of the insiders know that, but I have like a portfolio of 200 Facebook groups that I post to every single show.
And you don't know the job is done until you've been banned by multiple ones.
Yeah, when you start like there's a sheet on that Google Sheets thing, like the one separate sheet of just hundreds of groups I've been banned from. And I'm like, all right, well, we got to find more.
If you send that to me, I'll gladly be banned from them as well.
Yeah, we're just going to keep transferring it.
Tyler looks like, actually, I think the problem with Tyler is he joins the group and they ban him immediately.
Instantly.
Once they see his profile picture, it's no. So maybe give it to Axel. He looks a lot more presentable. But anybody have any other questions for Amy?
Well, yeah, Amy, I know that it is I know that at Bash at the Brew, you've had a history also with being involved in the match in maybe ways that you personally didn't want to be included. So what would you say have been the most painful move that you've been on the receiving end in one of these Bash at the Brews that we've had?
Oh, gosh. Definitely the code breaker from Ariel Levy. That one caught me quite a bit, and I was feeling it for like a week after.
Stiff. Always stiff.
Yes. But yeah, I think that one was the worst. The other ones were kind of like, I don't want to say tame, but yeah, no, that one was definitely the worst.
You took a pretty nasty spear. Oh, but that wasn't Tripping Animals, right? So
I've taken a lot of spears, actually.
Your nose was broken. I'll always remember your nose was broken in the ring. You come back, and this was at a breakout. This wasn't a Bash. But let's fuck it. We'll say it's a Bash. I'm behind the Bash of the Brew curtain.
Card subject to change.
And Amy comes through the Bash of the Brew.
Yeah.
And she's just all bloody and shit. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, what the hell just happened? And she was like, I just took an elbow to the face. And then you had never brought your kids. Like, it was like the second time you brought like all of your kids. And now you're like, I need to go to a hospital. And then like, what are my children going to do?
Front row, too. Front row.
I have a show to run. Why are you distracting me? I need to find a new referee for the same game. And you're just bleeding all over, And then the Bash crowd is in the background.
Oh god.
No.
Yeah.
So you got a broken nose.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely that was the day before my birthday too. Our birthday.
It's funny, like that's how wrestling works. Like if it's like, hey, you're taking the Crown are gonna spear you, right? Or something. Like that's not when you get hurt. It's like elbow moved to the right, and then those are the things that just happen. Like how did like 1-2 kick out? I have a broken nose. That's literally how it worked, right?
Yep, 100%.
Amy,
right, let's talk about a match.
Wait, I have a question for Amy. So, Amy, you're obviously a fan favorite sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, right? How do you tell us? Because I think that like people don't understand the art of refereeing, and obviously, like I know you personally, like you've told me about a lot of the film that you watch and a lot of the refs that you try to model your body of work on and stuff like that. And just tell us a little bit about how you learn to read the crowd and how to interact with the crowd as a referee, because sometimes your job is to kind of be not invisible, but you know that there's more going on in the ring, but you're always that third person in there and you're just as important.
As far as reading the crowd, like I try to stay focused because like there are a lot of times you see referees that like when the crowd's booing them, they react to them. I try not to care because at the end of the day, I'm the one who's making the calls there, and the fans can scream all they want. It doesn't matter. Pointing at the wrong side. Yeah. So like I get a lot of flack sometimes with those close calls. I know I angered a lot of people. What was it, last Bash, where I got hit and I was tired of getting hit in that match, and so I took the title away from Carolina and gave it back to Ruthie because hey, it was a disqualification. I make that call. But yeah, like it is fun to interact with the fans, but you have to know that line. At the end of the day, you're there to do a job. You're there to referee a match and call it down the middle, and the fans can't be a factor there.
If you're a referee at home listening to this, and you walk up to me, and maybe this is your first time in CCW, and you say, my gimmick is, and you don't expect a slap so hard across your head or face or whatever, like, please listen to what Amy's saying, because it wasn't even planned. Fonzie's quote unquote gimmick was not planned. It was organic after 16 and a half years of being in professional wrestling. It wasn't like now Fonzie's the manager of champions. And I don't know if it's because Fonzie's around, but like I have so many refs who come to me like, here's my gimmick. And I go, well, here's my right hand across the side of your
being a ref.
Ask Amy. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like she hit it right in the head. Is like you say you like toe the line. I think you toe the line exactly right because you are the authority in that ring. You don't take away from what people are there to watch. And I think that's a really great. There was a really great way to put it.
Yeah.
Oh, does
David
Amy
is
have
in
a
the
favorite
Amy,
wrestler to ref?
Question.
Who's your favorite? Yeah, who do you like to ref?
Oh, that's so hard.
And who makes your job easy or who makes your job hard?
Hard, yeah. I know who makes it
hard. As far as hard, definitely Ariel Levy because I tend to get hurt a lot in his matches. I don't know why. Well, maybe like a couple months ago. Lately, it's been good. Easy. Oh, I guess Ozzy, because like as chaotic as Ozzy is, I've learned like through making mistakes how to anticipate that dude's movements. And
so you're saying he's very predictable? Is that what you're saying?
At least for someone not getting hit with his big head. So
she knows when how to move out the way for Ozzy.
Got it. Super predictable Ozzy. Good old Ozzy.
Jeez.
I'm gonna get a message later like what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
now he's gonna hit you at your at whatever your next match that you ref just for GP, by the way.
Yeah, just Ozzy catching strays out here. But speaking of tough matches to ref, Ref Amy, I think this next match, if you are assigned to it, I think this one's going to be tough. There's high tension in this one. Big rivalry at stake here as Eddie Valentine is taking on Joe Garcia. The Knight Riders are no more. They are lone riders after Eddie Valentine.
Guys, wait, Tyler. I wanted you to leave that up for a second because look at how awesome Joe looks. Look at that. Look at that.
Because he is awesome. Joe Garcia.
That is the greatest. I can't believe this is the first time I'm seeing it. That is the greatest match card ever in the history, not only of CW, but of the history of man. All right, take it down.
Wow.
You have two guys, a couple of wild and crazy guys, a couple of guys who really they were connected at the hip, a mentor-protege relationship in every single way. And if there's ever been a feud that feels organic because it is organic, this is it. So Tyler, thank you for getting his. Don't you watch the product, bro?
Yeah, I got it.
Actually, after Insider tonight,
David, we need to have a chat, David.
Yeah, David, brother. David, after Insider tonight, I will be posting Bash on Facebook in its entirety, Bash 42 and 43. Tomorrow, 39, 40, and then 37. And every day I'll be posting Bashes on Facebook. They're already on. If you go to full matches, yes, Chef's Kiss, Stephanie. David be working. But point is, you can catch up tonight on Bash 43, tomorrow 42, 41, all that type of stuff. And I'm going to post as many on Facebook. You can go to the full show section on YouTube if you want to see that. If you want to do that, we're also working on like a lot of really cool stuff, like organizing that stuff. I'm so excited to announce this. I'm no longer by myself in editing and arranging and putting all this type of stuff together. So, there's only so much Adderall that exists on the planet. There's only like so many nights. Like you can only like not sleep for so many nights. What's up, Tone? So expect a lot more. But Tyler, thank you for getting us back on track. Let's talk about the Knight Riders. Lissy?
What's going on?
Knight Riders.
I want to know your thoughts on this feud, not this match. Your thoughts on this feud. When did you see this coming? Were you part of the team backstage that just watched? I just watched these men just tear apart slowly over like 3 months, and it was horrific to watch. And then when it exploded.
I like to describe the way that they fell apart. And I'm stealing this from a movie. I'm very sure of it. It was how you fall asleep, slowly, and then all of a sudden, right? So they, Eddie took Joe under his wing. Joe was just a kid, just trying to figure out his way, and Eddie's obviously a veteran. He's been around a very long time.
Yeah.
Eddie said, "Walk with me." And he really took Joe to another level. He pushed Joe. You saw the progression of Joe as a wrestler. You saw him build in his confidence as well. Like it's very difficult. You could teach somebody something, but like when you see them building up their confidence, that is another level of investment that Eddie took in somebody like Joe. So I think that I'm not taking Eddie's side, right? But I think
you hit it. You hit him in the head. Good, continue.
Yeah. Like, I think that's really why Eddie took it so personally. Lou, we miss you, Lou. I think that's why Eddie took it so personally when Joe, not fully, but kind of softly turned the tables on him a little bit. They're in a tournament, and it's dog eat dog, and Joe saw an opportunity, and he said, "You know what? This is my chance."
Joe was a small town boy living in a lonely world. Took his midnight train, to the Night Riders.
Wow!
And Eddie brought him to the dance. I'll tell you this: I watched the moment that I looked at Joe Garcia and I wanted to give him a big hug because it went from someone who I was like, "That's a guy," to "That's could be the guy."
100%.
And it was during the Enzo match, Cha-Cha Enzo, Night Riders, and Enzo looked and he goes like, "What's your problem, Creepy Joe or something?" And the crowd started chanting Creepy Joe.
Yeah.
Saw Joe become who he was. And from that moment, Joe's, like you said, you got to give Eddie some of that respect.
Yeah.
I love it. God. Oh God. I was like, the singular monotheist God.
A God.
A God makes more sense, in the polytheistic sense of a God, of course. But I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Greek mythology vibes.
Yeah, of course. The point is no, Eddie got him where he was going. And like you said, that tournament where Joe stole the win on the we have so many tournaments. That tournament.
The Soul Survivor.
Soul Survivor. Thank you, Axel. Tyler, where were you on that? He stole the Soul Survivor from him, but listen, you hit it on the head.
It's like I know wrestling or something.
There is hatred there. I saw hatred. I see hatred in Joe's eyes. And I see a lot of anger in Eddie's eyes, but I also see sadness in Eddie's eyes. Because it's this is someone who clearly was taking for granted what he had done for him, and now here we are. And I think this match is going to be great. I think it's going to be awesome. Tyler,
we've lost Tyler. It was an Et tu Brute moment.
Correct.
100%. So I'm very excited to see this one. Again, this might be another one of those matches. You guys saw it. I wish the graphic was available right now.
I would choose
hell out of me.
Available. I think actually for the rest of the show. I want this graphic up for the rest of the show.
Yeah, when Eddie jumped over the top rope just to get to Joe, I almost died. Okay, so I was terrified. I was so scared. So
you can watch that on CCW Live that aired this week. That dive.
What was that?
Eddie, guys.
You see this guy?
Taking it to another level. That was just taking it. Oh, we finally saw. I finally saw Tyler's background. I finally saw his
it flashed up.
No,
right now.
I thought it was going to be disgusting or something. Not
it
so
happens once in a while.
Good, actually.
But yeah.
Axel, who do you got?
I've got to give
Look
it
at Joe's face and try to say.
I've got to give it to Joe Garcia. Honestly, from what we've been seeing as of late, especially this backstage, I think, interaction where Joe Garcia literally jumped from a dumpster just to get his hands on Eddie Valentine. I mean,
jump scare.
If that doesn't tell you that Joe Garcia
literally dumpster diving
Saturday, literally dumpster diving to get onto Eddie, then I don't know what else to tell you. But Joe Garcia, I've seen such an improvement from the time that even I started here at CCW. Now I'm just very excited to see what he's going to be doing on this solo run, and I think that the first step starts at Bash At The Brew 44 by defeating Eddie Valentine.
The expectation, and we lost somebody, right?
We lost it.
Through this, I'm out of here. I don't want to talk about this more, but I got to say this. There's a lot of people that are expecting Joe to fail because now he's on his own, and it's like the Night Riders work so well. And I looked at Joe right in his face, and I said, people are expecting you to fail, so what are you going to do with that? It starts on Saturday. What the fuck are you going to do, Joe? They're expecting you to languish now. What are you going to do? And it starts on Saturday.
Well, I think while we got Amy back, let's get Amy's take on this. Amy, you've probably been in the ring with the Night Riders way more than all of us have for sure. You have seen them in their tag team form. Now you're going to see them singles. Who do you think has the edge in this, knowing Joe Garcia and Eddie Valentine as long as you have?
I mean, it's hard to, whoever has this match as a referee is going to have their handful.
It's going to be you.
Yeah. Probably
just decide right now. It's you. Go ahead.
It's gonna be you.
It's gonna be me. Okay. So based on the brawls we've been seeing, it's gonna be really hard to contain this match. Do you think these men care about rules when they're in the ring with each other?
They don't get mad.
Those guys just want to destroy each other. I mean, I'll give it. I'm probably gonna give it to Eddie just because the veteran knowledge that he brings to the match, and he's, I think, a less emotionally invested. Joe just wants to hurt Eddie at this point and getting back for what he did to him. What was it, Bash 42? He wants revenge, whereas Eddie, he just wants to put him down once and for all. So, but I it's hard to believe that this is going to actually end in a clean finish. I feel like this might get thrown out.
Actually,
because you can say that, you're the referee.
No, but Amy's right though. Amy's right, guys, because think about this. Eddie said it. He said, I was gonna let this ride, no pun intended. He said, I was just gonna be done with you and let it just move on, keep it moving. But Joe keeps coming.
You guys have no idea how real that is.
Joe will not die.
That is a real statement. I don't know if he said that on a promo. I know that that's been said. So Lizzie, you hit it right. I don't know if there was a camera there, but This is going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, the last bash at Unbranded, Bash At The Brew 44, the Night Riders implode, Joe Garcia and Eddie Valentine. And for the sake of it, look at that beautiful graphic. If that doesn't get you hyped up, I don't know what will.
I can't believe that chest tattoo is just so beautiful. It's I'm did I notice that before? I don't remember.
Stop. Please don't.
Okay.
All right, guys. I do need to pop off. I got to go feed my children before they eat something that isn't edible.
Let's say goodbye to Amy. I know
Amy.
It was very difficult to do a video podcast with me again, and I'm glad that Ted and Tyler and Angela here. Get through it.
All right, bye, guys.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Bye.
Let's bring on Dr. Eric.
Oh, wow. What a way to kill the lead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at Bash At The Brew 44 at the last match, we have the good doctor returning to Bash At The Brew.
Is it?
He is here in the waiting room. And I got to say, I've seen his face.
What's he doing here?
He's pissed. He has been waiting.
He's ready.
You've been making me wait 50 minutes.
Who asked you here?
50 minutes.
Sorry,
we have about 20 people
here?
in a waiting room for 54 minutes now. So every guest will just get angrier and angrier.
But isn't that what doctors do? You make people wait.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Jesus Christ. All right.
All right, hey, Doc, my first question. Are you ready to feel the boom on Saturday?
I don't even know what that means.
What do you mean you don't know what that means?
What does that mean?
Are you not on social media?
No. Let's go back. Eric, Doc, you've had incredible moments at Bash the Brew. The first thing that we've been asking everybody is, give me one or two moments that will just live on out of these 44 bashes. You were there, or I think you were there right away, Bash 2 or something. Your first bash was Bash 2. So give me a couple moments that you'll never forget.
Yeah, I mean, my Bash of the Brew debut, I guess, here's a deep cut. I'm a 7-time CCW 24/7 champion. And I
think most
won.
of us forgot that. No,
everyone has.
I think I've edited out of the history.
I was gonna say, I think Nelly will forget.
Yeah. I just stopped bringing the belt.
You're the current.
You guys want it?
Oh, there it is.
the current 24/7 champion. People just forgot to pin this guy.
Yeah. I mean, I did lose it 6 times, so there is that. But I mean, other than that, I've had the privilege, I guess, of being a part of a lot of main events in Bash at the Brew history. You know, Cha-Cha Charlie versus Agony. Although those series of matches were insane. I know earlier you guys had the Crown on there. You talked about how they defeated Elevated Status. Let's not forget who convinced Johnny Nova to turn on ERA to begin with. So yeah, I mean, there's been so many great moments. I think this Saturday is going to be an even greater one. So there's that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be bringing a big chicken bake and a double chunk chocolate cookie, and we're going to see where this thing goes on Saturday. No, I don't know. I'm going to open it a little bit. Like, not only are you a doctor, and you're not just a good doctor, but some of the best. Man, I don't know if I should have opened this up, but some of the best artistic things that we've seen have come from the Good Doctor. So, that iconic, give me the inspiration of that iconic, obviously you look at me and you go, well, this guy just loves ECW. The logo is like ECW. Everything's like ECW. But tell me, what was some of your thought process to create that black and red that just lives forever in Bash? I remember the time you called me and we're gonna change the color, and I'm like, the fuck you are gonna change the color. Tell me what was your original this is how Bash is gonna look. Was there any type of thought process? And there's been probably four changes, 3 or 4 small changes that still feel like Bash. Tell me a little bit of that part of the process.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for you to open up the
pull
back the curtain like that.
No, sorry.
Make the graphics.
Well, this will only play live. I'll cut this part out when we fucking play.
Yeah. I mean, now that we're talking about that, I appreciate you saying that graphic of Joe and Eddie was one of the best you've ever seen.
Oh, I love it, the best.
Yeah, I mean, there's such a
for a second. My God, look at it.
I know, right? Jeez.
Look at it. Go ahead, continue.
That's the only match that's gonna get talked about tonight.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think each CCW show has such a unique vibe to it. Bash of the Brew does not feel like Port St. Lucie and Kissimmee, etc. And when it comes to Unbranded, there was always this underground fight club feel to that show, where it's very grungy in a lot of ways. And so when it comes to all the graphics, that's always been my main focus is how can we grab that very similar to ECW, but just more of a modern day grunge style. And yeah, Bash of the Brew is always one of my favorite shows to make the graphics for as well, because it's just there's an excitement about Bash of the Brew. When Nelio sends me the card and he's like, "Hey, make these," I'm always everyone else is cursing. I was like, "Oh fuck yeah," And I'm not used to Nelio allowing us to curse. It's different.
Well, we're live, pal.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Well, let's have a drink for Psycho Sid, man. I mean,
yeah.
I think I've said we're live, pal. And Lizzie, you just look at me and say we're live, pal, 30
all
times.
The time.
30 times a bash.
So
you gotta remember the pioneer, that also one of the scariest looking dudes. Psycho Sid. I'll drink to that. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I was just saying, Bash of the Brew is just so special. There's always an excitement about it. As the person who wears a full suit and a turtleneck, I'm excited to go to Tank where there's air conditioning. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm just super pumped.
Yeah, I think that's a major positive. Tyler, what do you got for the Good Doctor?
Well, while we have you here, I think that this upcoming match, I don't think anyone has any better insight on this competitor and can give us a lot of insight on this match. And that is Skits versus Agony, the Drag Me to Hell match. The Good Doctor, you got Agony in there, a lot of history between you two. Give us some insight about this match. What do you think about this one? And does anyone know what the hell a Drag Me to Hell match is?
That's a great question. I know it's definitely it's going to be interesting for sure. Obviously, yeah, I do have a lot of history with Agony, and I have a lot of history with Skits too. I've had a lot of my patients have had to face Skits. Both of these guys talk about two guys who belong in an insane asylum, right? That's why I had to work with Agony for so long. Loved my time working with Agony, and I do hope he gets the job done against Skits on Saturday. You know, Skits has been a pain in my ass for a long time, so hopefully Agony takes care of that one.
Man, just going right after
the perfect. The Skits is like he's the perfect. He's the perfect foil, but I think potentially there could be some moments where you get a psychiatrist talking to Skits. And
I've attempted to on multiple occasions, and you can never really predict which personality you're going to talk to. But I've definitely certainly tried to get a hold of him and to try to figure out what's going on in that brain of his.
Yeah, no, if you ever meet Skits' other personality, Skylar, I think there are times when I feel like Skits is more sane than Skylar is. So like I think there's a lot that can be said, you know.
I've seen no other wrestlers in the history of CCW grab onto the roof, like onto the ceiling, and just hang there for a while. You know, you want to talk about crazy moments in Bash at the Brew history. Skits is full of them. So there's that.
Man, I worry about how crazy Saturday is going to be because it's the last night that we have the building. Like that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of nights we're gonna be there probably 20 hours of wrestling. If you buy your ticket, expect to leave at about 4 a.m. I'm just kidding. But I'm worried about how we're gonna treat that building because what are they gonna do? Kick us out of it? So that was one of those moments where I was watching in the monitor and Skylar's holding on to the ceiling, and I'm so mad, and it looked so cool. One of the best Bash moments. I think you probably have a couple insights. Like that's probably the most viral moment from Bash, right? Like with
certainly one of them. Yeah,
numbers wise, like that was an incredible one. And now 1.4 million views of The Crown with AJ and Big Justice yesterday is obviously the biggest thing that we've ever been a part of. But when it comes to Bash, I think there's a couple moments that went viral, you know, and not just the Harley Cameron moments and the other moments. I mean, like viral in the sense of like, wow, The Crown just threw Skits up on the ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, there's been other situations where, I believe Cha-Cha Charlie jumped off of like an ambulance or something.
Yeah, I hated that, but it went viral. You're right.
Yeah, I've also seen Cha-Cha Charlie jump from the top rope to the outside of the ring through a table. So like, you know.
Guys, you're forgetting our big viral moment that got on Only in Dade recently.
That was it. That might have more than 1.
That probably does. Yeah,
it does have more than 1.4 million. So actually, bring him on. Bring the man on. He's the man of the people. He is
the leader of the domination.
He's the leader of the domination, which I'm not sure is an S&M thing or something, but I love it. I love it anyway. He is the man. He is like, if you've taken somebody's growth from 1 year ever in CCW or in professional wrestling, this guy's got to be, in the top 25% if you look at wrestling. Bring him on. He is the man, the leader of the domination. And I'm just kidding about the S&M stuff. Bring on Domino. I love it. Domino, you have had, and the first thing that we're asking everybody, and you've had him, best Bash moment. I think I know yours. And it's not that one that we were just talking about with the cake.
Yeah, no, it was kind of triggering when you were saying that. Because, it was cool to go viral. It was not cool to be on the receiving end of that viral moment.
Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. My phone's blowing up here. We got someone else in the waiting room. Yeah, he wasn't scheduled to be in here.
Bring him on.
Oh, hi. Hello there, friend.
What's up, boys?
Well, I guess
What's up, Domino?
Bury the lead here. Southeastern Championship, 3 times Southeastern champion, the most total title defenses of any Southeastern champion ever.
Actually, hold on. It's 4, Nelio.
4-time CCW SEC champion, the most ever title defenses for any SEC champion. This is a title that started in 2004. First, Joey Machete, currently the Sheik, versus Jake the Snake Roberts for the inaugural SEC title. So from Jake the Snake, and he wasn't in a great condition in 2004, but still a Jake the Snake and Sheik match 20 years later, and we have Domino and we have Jackal Stevens, and you have two guys. You know, Domino is trajecting to be on top, and Jackal's just been on top. So this is going to be, I think, one of the most anticipated matches for Saturday. Jackal, your thoughts?
You know, that's better. A lot of kids, they dream of this moment, right? They watch wrestling as kids, and they say, man, I really want to do that. I really want to be a professional wrestler. And that probably wasn't the case with you, Domino. Your dream probably got into realization when you paid a ticket to Bash At The Brew a couple years ago and saw me wrestle. And you're like, wow, I'd really like to be like that guy. And here's your chance, boy. This is your time, man. So I hope you're prepared to make the best of this moment, because, you know, I plan on going nowhere. There's a lot left. There's a lot more juice in my tank left to squeeze, man. And if you think that you're just gonna come in here and
Domino and Jackal, you guys are fan favorites. No. Those are big words. Those are big words.
I'm not even done yet.
Domino, what are your thoughts?
You gotta let me talk, pal. You begged me to be on this show. Let me talk.
All right, talk, right. Stevens.
Like I said, there's a lot left in my tank. I am not ready to give up my top spot that I've worked so hard for. I've busted my ass for years. Nelia knows this. You know, I have drove up and down the state of Florida all the way to Tennessee with that goddamn ring truck. You know, building the rings, doing whatever I had to do, you know, to pay my dues. Domino, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not quite there yet, man. Listen, I really appreciate you trying to help me the past couple months, but, you know, your time is coming, and it's not going to be at my expense. Your time will come, but it's not going to be at my expense.
Look, man, you've had your time to talk, and I had nothing but respect for you. But you obviously showing disrespect to our executive director and CEO just proves the type of champion that you are, honestly. And as far as me not working and earning my spot, man, when you have an entire city, an entire staff in that same facility, that establishment, that's not pressure that's working against me. I work best when my back's against the wall. And everything I've accomplished outside of wrestling, whether it's in wrestling, outside of wrestling, I've done with straight passion and dedication and with more than just my ego involved. It's a whole city, a whole community that I'm representing. So this is far bigger than not only me, but it's bigger than you and yourself. So you better keep that ego in check. All right?
My ego's in check. I'm fully aware that you have all the people behind you, and that's all great, because you're going to need it, you know, because although you may think that you have all this passion, I have just the same amount of passion, I do.
Let me interject, guys. We're missing something huge here. Meadow, 500 and something days, and Domino, you came to the defense of Jackal less than a month ago. Jackal, you came to me. Domino, I know you came to me, but Jackal, you came to me and you said this. You wanted Domino at Bash because you think that, you know, he deserved it. Meadow, nowhere to be seen. You know, I expect, obviously, you know, there's Jackal, you have the experience advantage. Domino, you've got the city behind you. I expect an incredible match. What I'm shocked is to see there's a little bit of animosity already before we go into Saturday's match. You know, Domino,
I don't like to lose. And it was because of Domino's mistake last Saturday night in Doral. We lost the match against two people we should have beat. That's it. Look, I'm not a loser. I'm not out to lose.
Hey,
so
rookie mistake.
He's right, Domino. I don't like losing either.
Rookie mistake. I get it, but it's obvious that you let the emotions get the best of you, and maybe the emotions get the best of you on Saturday. Once again, maybe you're on the receiving end of that loss again this Saturday.
Well,
Here's the thing, Domino. You better take it easy the next couple of days. Do whatever you got to do to get ready. Because I know I will be.
Mira,
Man.
look, I'm not drinking. Mira, agüita, papi. Agüita y cafecito. Bring it.
Well, things just got, things just got a little hot here on CCW Insider between Domino and Jackal Stevens. But guys, first and foremost, the only way to see this epic match between these gentlemen here is by getting your tickets at ccwrestlingfl.com. Not tomorrow, now. If you still haven't, get them now. You can seriously also a chance to get them at the door, but why have that hassle? Just get to the Unbranded Brewing Company already with your ticket in hand and enjoy this night. Domino, thank you for joining us. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about this last batch? I know you've been a very integral part here of Bash At The Brew and with Unbranded.
Before we get to Domino, I got to say something. Driving these ring trucks up and down from Nashville, we stop at Buc-ee's, Jackal. We have a great time. I'm severely offended over the amount of times that we enjoyed ourselves at Buc-ee's. Like, yeah, it's 14 hours, but the point is exactly right. Jackal's busted his ass for this. You're gonna have to dig deeper than you ever have in your life, Domino, and you're gonna see that on Saturday. To jump on what Axel's saying, a couple bash moments, a couple other times that you felt like you just were, at home. Because, like I said, I think if you look at anyone in wrestling over a year, like you're right in the precipice, and this match might determine where you go in part of that precipice. Tell me a couple of moments.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had to say that very first moment when I saw Jackal, when I was sitting there when we did that collaboration, Triple Chokeslam, because it was the first time I was ever inside a wrestling ring. So I'd say that first time is something that sparked something. I've always wanted to be a wrestler, but being inside that ring and seeing Jackal and actually talking to Jackal was the only one that I talked to. And he told me, hey, you should come train. And then one of the very last moments, which was seeing everybody, my first main event ever at Bash At The Brew, with none other than my mentor, my coach, the Vampire Warrior Gangrel, being able to share that moment and finally ending a feud that got extremely personal in the main event and the biggest show that we've had, the biggest Bash At The Brew with my city, my people, my friends from the brewery on that building, and all of them, seeing them representing, wearing their green bandanas was something that was magical, man. It's something that I remember. It's a memory that I will cherish for the rest of my life and will live with me until the day I die, and I will forever be grateful for that moment. But the best moment hasn't been had yet, because the best moment comes this Saturday.
I love it.
Y siempre con las pilas puestas, cojones.
I'm from Brazil. I don't speak Spanish, but I'm down there. You speak Portuguese in Brazil.
It means put on your battery.
Kidding, I know what you're saying. Guys, man, I feel like we haven't run enough of the matches, right?
No, not at all.
I guess I should announce that match. Was it announced yet? Reina Dorada, AAA superstar, incredible Mexican luchadora. I mean, just the things that she does in the ring is incredible. She will wrestle Ashley D'Amboise Saturday as well. Rounding out, I think we'll kind of round out that card for Saturday. That was an add-on because, Reina was like, she apparently had watched a lot of Bash At The Brews, and when she found out it was the last one, she's like, I needed to wrestle there, so I'm excited to see it. She's gonna bring the heat, and so is Ashley D'Amboise. I think throw on the next match, Tyler. I'm sorry, Domino, for Jackal. I know Jackal gets focused. He cares. Like, the only thing Jackal's thinking about for the next 3 days, like, he's not thinking about interviews. He's not thinking about.
I get it.
He's not thinking about the Miami Marlins collaboration. He's not thinking about this. He's thinking about the match on Saturday. So that's I have to apologize. Jackal.
I respect
for a long time, but throw the next match up, Tyler. Let's all talk about it. Domino, you stay on for the duration.
Here we go. Chop Charlie taking on Alex Ocean. I believe this is definitely the first time these two men have stepped one-on-one at Bash at the Brew. From what I've researched, I have not seen them in singles competition before this. I think this is an absolutely unbelievable way to put a bow on Unbranded Brewery. I think you have Alex Ocean, who brought that hardcore feeling really in the early shows of the last territory at Bash at the Brew. I mean, the last time we seen him, he had a death match with Jackal, unbelievable match. And we never really seen him and Cha-Cha Charlie against one another at Bash at the Brew. I think this is going to be an awesome clash of styles. Really good one, guys. How are we thinking about this one? Kick it off to Axel.
Do you want to know why this match was made? Sorry,
why?
Axel.
What's the official reason?
I want to know why this match was made? Because I was like, man, Ocean was a major part of Bash, early Bashes, and I had a lot of stuff that we had planned, and I said, who hates each other? Like, who actually really hate each other? And I looked at the card and I said, wow, you don't need a feud when guys actually hate each other. So I promise you, whatever they say to you, whatever they say publicly, these guys really don't like each other. So there's going to be a part of all of us that watch this match with this is going to be one of those monitor sellouts for the boys in the back. So it's Cha-Cha Charlie and it's Alex Ocean. Axel?
Well, I've not been able to keep up to date with what maybe Alex Ocean has been doing. I know that the last time we have seen him, it was when Tyler mentioned against Jackal Stevens. But right now, Cha-Cha Charlie's coming off of a big win from this past show in Nashville, becoming the new CCW Tennessee Heavyweight Champion.
I don't know if this match is for the title or not. I don't know if that's been decided yet. So you'll know in the next day or so if it's for the title or not. But Cha-Cha Charlie is the new CCW Tennessee title. Should we be defending the Tennessee title everywhere we go?
I think so.
You know what? Fuck it. It's on the line. CCW Tennessee title is on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed by CCW management that the CCW Tennessee title will be on the line.
We'll do it live.
That's why I got to watch Insider.
Good point, Axel. Continue.
So because of that, I would have to say that my pick is for Cha-Cha. I know in the past I've been contemplating where Cha-Cha's direction was going to be leading to with some of the matches he's had. But now that I think he has a more clear path, he's now going to be the face of CCW Tennessee. And now he's going to be bringing that here down to Bash at the Brew for the final bash. So I think with such a big momentum that he has, it's going to be for Cha-Cha for me.
Eric, another person you're very familiar with in Alex Ocean. The good doctor has had a lot of run-ins with Alex Ocean. So what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I'll answer this real quick before I had to go. I had to run to the airport. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely had experience with both of them. Alex can get pretty crazy. We've seen him do the death matches. We've seen him use weapons. But at the same time, we've seen what Cha-Cha's done with AJ Francis. We've seen what Cha-Cha's done with all these other guys going very hardcore. So I'm anticipating chaos in this one too. And I'm sure Nelio is ready for that chaos. So, but yeah.
What are we going to do? Lose the building?
Exactly.
I'm kidding. I got to stop saying that.
Yeah.
But I will see you guys later. I'll see you guys on Saturday.
Hey, enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much, good doctor. Great having you here on CCW Insider. Tyler, what's our next match that we have scheduled for this Saturday?
Well, going into our next match, it'll actually be the rubber match between Jay Vidal and Alex Chamberlain. What does that mean, a
rubber match, Tyler? What the hell are you talking about?
It means that this will be the third match in these two's rivalry.
Yeah, that's right.
At Bash at the Brew 41, we saw Chamberlain defeat Jay Vidal in a great back and forth match. Then at Rumble in the Jungle 6, Jay got his win back. These two do not like each other, and they're going to be settling it at the last bash at Unbranded. Let's kick it to Domino. Domino, what do you think about this? You're familiar with both of these men.
Yeah, I mean, I just took a hell of a clothesline from Alex Chamberlain on Saturday. Yes. I've been on the receiving end of that a few times. So he definitely brings it, but I think, when being somebody that fights with their back against the wall and coming back, I think Jay has something to prove, and I was with him today at the training facility, and he was there training, and he was there yesterday. So I think he has something to prove for sure against Alex, especially after Alex unleashed on him the last Rumble in the Jungle.
Absolutely, Jay Vidal. He knows. I call Alex Chamberlain on commentary. I call him the bully of CCW because every time he's in that ring, he just makes it like his home. He just bullies his competitors. And Jay Vidal, as a recent,
that's the real reason.
Yeah, he actually has.
He literally bullies you.
He actually has bullied me on a couple occasions in front of camera, but we'll move on from that. Thank you, Nelly, for bringing that up. But yes, Jay Vidal really coming out to prove a point to get this big win over Chamberlain. And anytime you get a win over Chamberlain, he's just a foundation here in CCW. It just propels you into that main event scene. It propels you looking for that CCW Heavyweight Championship. And speaking of CCW Heavyweight Championship, I think we get on to our last match here.
Wait, Alex Chamberlain, Jay Vidal, they're the opener. They're starting the show.
Ooh. There we go. We got another bombshell. But right here, it's the last match we're talking about, a wild card match here as QT Marshall has the open challenge. QT is back at Bash at the Brew, and he's defending that CCW Heavyweight Championship. I don't know, boss man. What does this entail here? Open challenge for QT Marshall. We haven't seen QT in a little bit here down south at Bash at the Brew. It's been a couple brews, but I know
he's defended his title numerous times across the country, Georgia, New Jersey, some other places. Really just trying to make the title feel like a national feel, like a national or a world heavyweight title. But he's back. He has a lot of duties at All Elite Wrestling, and Dila says that he sucks, but he does a lot of good. I'll put that back up, Dila. But he does a lot of awesome stuff in professional wrestling, just in general. And so I'm excited to have him back. And he said to me, he said, you have a lot of guys that, you like. I mean, this show's going. I mean, like I think the Bash 44 starts in like 20 minutes because the show's been going so long. But like the show itself. The show itself, there's a lot of guys missing from, these cards. And so, QT kind of said to me, I'll put it out to the guys who were not booked on this card, and they can come and prove that they should have been, and they'll come and beat me for this. And I said, yeah, no problem. I'm excited for it. Look, there's been a lot of special guests. There's a lot of people who are flying in. There's a lot of people who are there to watch the show. There's a couple people in some very predominant companies, national companies, who will be there to watch the show. Do one of them jump in the ring to try to win the CCW Heavyweight Championship, or is it somebody else? I haven't heard from Meadow in a while, and he canceled his bookings. You talk about someone hating to lose. Meadow hated his first time he lost. Like, he's been in a deep depression from what I've heard, for people that are close to him. But that would be where I would see, like, this is the opportunity, Meadow QT last bash. But who knows, I think there's a lot of options. And QT might take on more than one guy, it just depends on how he feels that day.
Domino here could go 2 for 2. Walk away, double.
Domino can go. He'll beat Jackal for the CCW SEC title, and then he'll come out and beat QT for the heavyweight title, and then the Rocket will be strapped at that point. That's a Hogan WrestleMania 9 move there, Domino. But, we've seen weird things here. Anything can happen, right? No,
for the last match, we usually do a round table of picks, but I guess we could have a little fun here. Throw it in the comments. Who do you think? Lissy, who do you think is going to answer this open challenge?
Oh, my God. Put it on me first. You know what? There's a lot of people that are maybe not in the same weight class or but are very talented. I would love to see QT versus Alan S2S Martinez. I think they would put on an absolute banger of a match.
Absolutely. Domino, besides yourself, who do you think? I know if you have the opportunity, you're running out there as soon as that bell rings. You're running.
There'd be no better way. I'd love to send off Unbranded than to cough.
I just randomly put like someone with powder in their eyes, like, go get him, champ.
Yeah.
Well, it is Hialeah. There'll be a lot of powder. Who do you got, Domino?
Man, honestly, I know there's a lot of guys in our locker room that want a piece of that, right? Want to open that challenge. I mean, it's the last bash. They want something to prove for themselves, people that have been a part of previous Bash of the Brews. But like Nelio mentioned, I mean, QT knows a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that want to come down and make their presence felt as well. So I don't know if especially recently, I have seen how Meadow reacts when things don't go his way. I mean, he even stalked me all the way at my own gym to whoop my ass. But yeah, I think this would be a good opportunity to try to make a statement after losing that title. So maybe seeing him back, I wouldn't put it past. Oye, mijo, cállate la boca, la muela aquí, la que tiene el escudo, bro. Ya tú no estás caballo, con peste el culo, bro. Cojones. Sorry. It's, you know, it's yeah, I mean, it's Cuban. It's not Spanish. It's just Cuban. It's debauchery, vulgar, and whatever. Sorry. It looks like I lost my cool there. But yeah, I mean, Meadow is somebody, you know, that I can see him answering that. I was going to say Elliot Crow, you know, one of the Raw Dogs. They seem brave enough, yapping their mouth, maybe them answering. But yeah, I know this.
You also got to remember who else will be in the building. Bull James will be in the building. Jack Talos will be in the buildings. Will be in the building. ACH will be in the building. So it doesn't have to be someone from the exact roster. You know, you never know. Any one of those guys can also play a part of this. You know, I didn't want to throw a bunch of names out there, but there's a couple of guys that'll just be hanging out there that might have an opportunity at their hands. Just in case, someone.
You know what? I think Lance is going to answer that, and he's going to send all that brewery.
Yes. No, I think QT, a guy like Lance, who I love, by the way. Second, he would step in there. QT to the head.
Yeah.
That man has a family.
Johnny alluded to it a little bit in the chat, but my pick is a man that's supposedly not going to be in the building, from what I've been told, but I don't believe it. I think the man to open QT Marshall's open challenge is the man that's getting Phi Delta Slam right now. We're putting the hours in the gym. The man that the music's going to hit and everyone is going to – I'm going to rip the
founder.
It is going to be Dan Evans to answer the open challenge, and I think he is going to finally get that CCW Heavyweight Championship.
It always eluded Dan. He never got it. Bruno had it. Tilly never got it. But
Finish the story, Dan. Finish the story.
So have you seen Dan lately? He's busting his ass. He's teaching those Sunday classes. He's looking really good. So, you laugh all you want. I'm going to tell him he said all this. He doesn't go online or anything. But laugh all you want, Tyler. But that match,
it could happen.
I think I might be the only person I watched Dan wrestle live. Now I feel really old.
Wow, did you?
I did in 2008 or 9 when I was just starting. And he's really good. Not only is a great trainer, but incredibly talented, knows exactly where to go. So laugh all you want. QT Marshall, Dan Evans, probably past Dan's time because he's the worst driver in the history of it. He doesn't go online, by the way, so you can say whatever you want about him. He's the worst driver in the history of man. So he's banged up his body with some car accidents and stuff.
He's gonna drive straight to the ring, straight after QT.
He's driving his car right in No, but actually he hasn't been able to teach his classes because he's hurt, and he's hurt right now.
Axel, who do you got?
Funny you mentioned that, but anyway, yeah, Dan was excellent in the ring.
So someone said we're not picking really anyone from our CCW, our active CCW roster. I would honestly like to pick
Noah Kakoa. There's a lot of people. Cesar, I don't know if Cesar will be there, but the rest of them will be around.
Well, a throwback that I like to see, because when I first started here at CCW, I did my research and I went on YouTube and I watched a plethora of CCW matches. And one that really caught my eye was when Super Crazy was here in CCW. And I would love to see a Super Crazy and QT Marshall match for the world title.
Yep. Matt Riddle also will be around. So I don't know if I just there's I have a funny story that I'll tell in a couple of years about Matt Riddle in Kissimmee last week or a couple of weeks ago. But actually in about 10 years, I'll tell that story, what we almost saw in Kissimmee. But you never know. I think that's a match. Both Riddle and QT, they are on a collision course. That match will happen, and it will happen. Might happen Saturday or it might happen soon. But two guys from the Monster Factory trained. QT helped in Riddle's training. There's a little bit of a mentorship there. They both respect each other. There's a lot of really good stuff between the two, and that might be the play. But can you imagine Riddle QT just tearing the house down last bash?
I can't.
That would be insane. And you know what they say? Anything can happen in the last territory. It's Bash at the Brew 44, the last bash at Unbranded. Everyone's gonna be there. That open challenge can be answered.
What about Big Justice?
Big Justice. Oh, hey,
he's coming in hot with the chicken bake.
Listen,
he's jamming that chicken bake right down QT Marshall's throat.
QT better be on TikTok. He better be doing his research. Big Justice.
Listen, QT Marshall and Big Justice. Do we got a boom or we got a doom, baby?
It'll be just doom for QT Marshall. I think if Big Justice steps in the ring.
I don't know if it's legal for Big Justice to wrestle QT, but what about AJ? Like AJ's got some size. Like I'm just saying,
good prospects.
I'm not even gonna tease that at me. That would be awesome. If there was a way that I could get that match at Bash right now, that would be the coolest thing that ever happened. Yeah.
Definitely will. But no matter what, Nelio, Bash at the Brew 44 is going to be one of the craziest Bash at the Brews. It's the last one at Unbranded. It's going to be unbelievable. Folks, you can get your tickets at ccwrestlingfl.com. They're selling fast. Nelly, you always talk about Ticket Surge, and how are we looking for Bash of the Brew 44?
The most tickets ever sold for a Bash of the Brew. And it's, what is it, Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Hey, brother, it's Insider. It's Wednesday.
We moved a lot of equipment. There's a lot more space. So we will be 1,000 plus. So buy your tickets now, and more importantly, come early. I will not have chairs for everybody. So I will have more increased security. You have drink specials because there's going to be a lot of beer still in the building, and there's only a couple days to drink it all. So I have a feeling that we will find a way to make that beer disappear before Monday or Tuesday. So why don't you come and be a part of it? Why don't you buy that ticket, take that ride, if you will, and then just come and enjoy. I think what's going to be a really emotional night for a lot of us. I've been emotional, for a month, thinking about this. I can't even function correctly. I'm going to my doctor. He's looking at my adrenal glands. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Brandon. Adrenal glands. No, that's for a whole different reason. But the point is I'm so thankful to Zach, to Lance, everyone who's ever bought a ticket for 43 of these bashes. The 44th one will be the best one. It'll be the most attended one. And I promise complete insanity. I'm driving around. I have people driving around getting tables and extra stuff. And I expect the normal CCW rules of let's do it a certain way. Expect that thrown out the window, utter mayhem. It's going to be as close to a end of the world party that there's ever. It's going to feel like one of those. This is it. This is the moment that it all ends. And so come and enjoy that. And then, but it'll be in a safe environment as well. We're not going to get too crazy. But be there. That's the best way that I can say it. Not just for the wrestling, but to pay pilgrimage and respect. A lot of people made themselves in that building. Kylan King, I spoke to her all day. She should come out and beat QT, but she's still hurt. And she wished she could travel to be there. But Kylan King, I think, made in that building, and she made herself in that building. A lot of people so you can come to the show, but also you can come to pay the respect to the people that made that show what it is, First ever match, Maywald and Cha-Cha Charlie, with Maywald's ex-girlfriend as his manager. And then the last ever match is going to be that TLC Bash 44. So you can get a nice little capstone on that. But I promise, and I promise that TLC better start before 10 o'clock, or I am a big right hand to everybody coming back to the curtain, including you, Domino's, just getting that right. I know it's going to feel so good to be out there and just it's the last time you get to feel that energy in that crowd. But they're going to come with us, by the way. Yeah. Get there early, get the seats. I'll do everything I can to get as many seats as possible. We're going to pack that place out. So be there. ccwrestlingfl.com.
And with that being said,
can Can I add something really quick just too? Because I know we're sold out of all our One Last Bash shirts. All we have available are small and extra large shirts. So secure your shirts now if you haven't. Your One Last Bash shirts, and we're about 45% of the. Oh, look at that! You had that ready already.
He was just looking at it on his phone all day.
I was like, I got this.
I was just had that at the ready.
6 hours.
Just looking at it all day. And then one's all right.
We have just smalls.
Screensaver on his phone.
Definitely.
Smalls and extra larges are left, and mugs.
Phone screen, obviously.
Your wallpaper. That's gonna be your new wallpaper instead of that CCW background.
Yeah, so we'll have that there.
And mugs, yeah, we're more than halfway through the mugs. Look at it. Tyler.
Where did that one come from? Now I'm baffled, Tyler.
But yeah, just secure them. It's very unlikely that you'll be able to secure them. You'll be able to pick them up at Bash, but you may not be able to get your hands on one if you haven't purchased it beforehand.
And season tickets go on sale September 4th for next year too.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Guys, any last words before we wrap this one up?
Save me a small shirt, please. That's my last words.
Ditto.
There we go.
You are the same size as Lissy, Axel. You are a slim. You're a slim fit man.
Thank you. I take pride in that.
You're cut. You're
cut.
Much
pride.
Good. Yeah.
I'm waiting still also for the size small tank tops, but you know I'm not gonna have. Also,
Listen, you are also slim and cut. I didn't mean to say like try to say.
All right, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you. This has been CCW Insider. I know we went crazy long.
Yeah, 2 hours. We went like 2 hours.
This is every show when Nelio's here.
I think this is foreshadowing of how long. Yeah, foreshadowing of how long we're gonna go at Unbranded, and Nelio's gonna.
I know we're gonna go as long as the show was. No, I gotta thank Axel, Tyler, and Lissy, and Xenia too. Like you guys are really stepping it up on Insider. Like I said, we have some editors coming on board, so we're gonna have more. We're gonna be able to play more footage. A lot of cool shit is going on. So like I gotta thank Tyler. Like Tyler is really taking the lead as a associate producer to produce the show. Like, you know, he's really done a really good job. But obviously Axel and no commercial breaks. We don't need you guys know where to ccwrestlingfl.com. You know we have a school. You know we have shows. Like, come on, guys. But come on, Laura. But thank you for reminding me we should do more. We're gonna kind of I think you're gonna see a lot of cool footage, access to footage quicker. And we'll be able to break down some matches and stuff on Insider. And I got to thank Axel and Tyler and Lissy for really, really, like, it's a labor of love, you know. So thank you guys for this. I will hope to see everybody at Bash. We have a week off, and then we're back for a really hot Kissimmee card, a really hot Tampa card, hot Doral card, breakout, and then we have Port St. Lucie, and then the tank. So go to ccwrestlingfl.com, buy all your tickets, and then buy your season tickets next year. Kissimmee, Tampa, Breakout, Doral, Bash. That's your options. And we're going to try to I'm working with our sales team, you know, our sales team Domino. Working with our sales team on kind of like putting some more cool stuff for season ticket holders and stuff. And you know, good stuff ahead, really cool stuff ahead. So be a part of this. Thank you for all the people on the ground floor because we're blowing up, you know.
Big thank yous all around, but most importantly, a big thank you to everyone, the staff at Unbranded Brewing Company, for allowing us to have 44 consecutive batches at the brew. History was made at that building, and more history will be made this Saturday, so get your tickets now. Thanks for joining us here at CCW Insider. We won't be back here next week, but don't worry, we'll be back the week after that to break down Kissimmee and Tampa with you guys here.
Next week,
I'll be back. Come on for an hour.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
I'll be here. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'll be here. We can talk about.
We need a big Q&A. We need people to bring their questions. That's what we need. Big
Q&A. We do need a Q&A. All right,
questions.
See, look, that's why he's the producer, Axel.
Everybody bring their questions next week.
Lizzie, like, you came at like what? Bash what? 5? How early?
No, 10? It wasn't bad. Yeah, it was around that time.
But you've been a huge part of Bash.
2.5 years now, so
I
think it was like Bash 12 or something.
You're the only ring announcer who could survive the mayhem.
Those crowds were
like
brutal.
we didn't tell you this. We've never told you this, but the ones before quit because that crowd is vicious.
Brutal.
I had like I had particularly a legend come to me one time and say like I'll work any show but Bash, and he's like because that crowd will eat me alive, and I was like, what are you talking about? Then I watched it up close, and they ate alive our commentators until you came, and you are the lion tamer in there, wrangling that crowd. So good job.
I love to be there. Happy to be transitioning to the new place with, and you know what? We don't need AC. We like to be hot.
I'm gonna tell them to turn it off.
Turn that shit off.
The tank.
Save on the electricity bill. FBNL.
Yes. The tank. I'm excited for it. You guys should be excited for it. So, all right, love you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Cheers, y'all. Dale.
You have been watching CCW Insider, produced by Minutes to Bell Time.